What's up guys, good to see you and welcome to today's video. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. And if you like today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. So I'm gonna go over the top 5 things that I hate about keto. So before we get started, I also want to share my free keto program with you. If you are new to the ketogenic diet and you want an easy to follow program, I've got it for you. You can go to freeketoprogram.com or you can also click the link in the description below. So that leads me to the number one thing that I hate about keto. I honestly hate how difficult things have become. You see, when I first started the ketogenic diet 4 years ago, there was almost no information at all. I got lucky and found the diet in a medical setting while working with kids who suffered from mental illness. But at that time, there were no keto YouTubers, there were no keto programs. When you went to Google to type in keto, you actually came up with the ketoacidosis definition, which obviously scared me. But the beauty of it was, in the medical community, they taught me the basics, the essentials to be successful with the diet. For example, tracking macro percentages, eating good, single, clean, whole ingredient foods. There are these tenets of the diet that make it easy as long as you stick with them. But nowadays, everybody's got an opinion on how to do the ketogenic diet and it gets downright confusing. Like straight up, I feel so bad for people who start the ketogenic diet today. I don't even know if I'd be able to get through all the nonsense, all the fear mongering that I see on the internet. And I'm not calling anybody out here, but a lot of times I see content creators like myself who specialize in the ketogenic diet that contradict themselves throughout videos. It's almost like people are just throwing out information just for the sake of having another piece of content. Another way that I know the keto confusion has grabbed hold of a lot of people is when I first started doing coaching calls with people, people were coming to me just saying, hey, listen, I heard about the keto diet. I just want to have an easy, simple to follow approach to doing this diet. I'm married, I got kids, I got a busy job. Just tell me what I need to know so I can be successful. Nowadays though, whenever I do keto coaching calls, almost 90% of the people come to me and they say, yo, I'm just super confused. I've been doing the diet for a few weeks, but so-and-so over here made it sound like I was doing it wrong, and they are basically not confident with what they're doing. So my goal then is to just bring them down to the basics, the fundamentals, give them the confidence they need. But it's very, very interesting how more people come to me now super confused, whereas before people were just coming to me and saying, hey, I just want an easy to follow program. That's it. Just teach me the basics. And it's interesting because I promise you, if you look at any profession, if you look at any professional athlete, they will always tell you the fundamentals are the most important things. Practice one kick 1,000 times versus practicing 1,000 kicks one time, said Bruce Lee. And there's so much truth to that, right? Professional bodybuilders, fitness models like myself, we're very good at focusing on the basics and nailing them day in and day out to perfection. We don't get lost in all of this nonsense stuff that doesn't really actually matter. The next thing I absolutely hate about the ketogenic diet is how damn expensive it is. Sadly, here in America, the more poor you are, the more likely you are to be overweight or obese. The simple fact of the matter is carbs are cheap and fat is very, very expensive. This is why the food pyramid was such an interesting thing. The United States government was trying to convince Americans to eat over 50% of their daily calories from carbohydrates. And they put fat at the very top and then scared everybody into thinking that it was going to kill them if they ate too much fat. The reason for that is simple, man. You got to feed a population. If you go out and tell everybody that carbs are actually going to kill you and that you should eat as much fat as possible, people aren't going to be able to survive. Most Americans wake up in this country and they have either bagels or cereal or some other highly processed carbohydrate. The average keto dieter wakes up with keto coffee. It's jam-packed with a lot of healthy fats, and if you're hearing about it now for the first time, you got to give it a shot if you can afford it. So this is Kerrygold butter. I put a tablespoon of this inside my keto coffee. This is about $3.75. It's far more expensive than all the margarines that you see everybody else buying in the grocery store. Then I also put a tablespoon of coconut oil. Now this stuff is extremely healthy for you, and that's gonna come at a price. This little thing right here cost me $11. And finally, I put a tablespoon or so of heavy whipping cream. Now, this is about $3.50. A lot more expensive than the half and half, but a lot healthier. The next thing I hate about the ketogenic diet is what I call keto vultures. Now, keto vultures come in many different forms. The one that you have to watch out for the most are the vultures who sell you programs that are absolute nonsense. These are people who don't even do the ketogenic diet. They're just trying to capitalize on the amount of people who are starting to do the diet. So they run all these crazy ads. They come out with all of this bogus stuff, and you end up getting the program and it sucks. You've just wasted your money, and they've pocketed their money. So I've seen a lot of people who are advertising their programs on Instagram and using transformations from people who had nothing to do with that program or challenge. They're literally stealing somebody's transformation to convince you that their program works, when in fact that person's transformation had nothing to do with that program they're selling. Another unfortunate thing I've had happen to me was somebody selling a program using my name as a way to sell more programs. It's not cool to take people's money who are just trying to change their life. The next type of keto vulture is the mainstream media. With the rise of the ketogenic diet, many of these popular websites and news outlets were very quick to play both sides of the coin. All they wanted to do was draw up controversy. They wanted to fearmonger. They wanted to drive traffic. So at one point they were saying keto is great, look at all these transformations. And then in an article a few months later, they would say keto is gonna kill you. You gotta watch out for cholesterol. So they're playing both sides. When the mainstream media got a hold of keto, I literally buckled my seatbelt and said, this is gonna be a hell of a ride. The next type of keto vulture is companies who flood the market with cheap keto products. They have no passion for the keto space at all. The founders do not even do the diet themselves. I know of a few examples that I'm not gonna actually call out, but that really upsets me. These are just people who want to come in and make money off the rise of the ketogenic diet. And of course, they want to make as much money as they possibly can, so they overpromise on how amazing their products are, but in fact, their products are made with cheap ingredients, and many times ingredients that you do not need at all. Another reason why I hate the ketogenic diet is you lose strength in the gym. Make no mistake about it, when you run on carbs, you're definitely gonna be stronger than when you don't. The problem is when you run on carbs, yes, you're gonna be stronger, but yes, you're gonna gain weight easier. And for me, it was a good trade-off. I was willing to sacrifice not being as strong in the gym for the ability to stay very lean and preserve a lot of the muscle that I've spent years and years and years building. The primary reason why I do the ketogenic diet is because I can stay in the best shape of my life, which means very low body fat percentage and a good amount of muscle all year round. Now, although you are not as strong on the ketogenic diet, you absolutely are able to preserve muscle while losing weight easier than any diet out there. The reason is because ketones are protein sparing. I remember back in the day when I used to compete a lot and do tons and tons of photo shoots for sponsors, I would cut to try and get shredded, and I would lose all the muscle that I spent forever building. It was a terrible, ruthless process on my body every single time. As soon as I found the ketogenic diet, it was like I found the Holy Grail. I can stay super lean, be shredded, and not lose any muscle at all, which actually makes my physique look 10 times better. So in the beginning, you're just gonna have to accept the fact that you're not gonna be as strong as you were when you were running on a lot of carbohydrates. Your body will make some adaptations as you go along, so you will gradually get some of that strength back, but it's never gonna be like when you're running 500 grams of carbs. Recently, I've tried doing what's called a targeted ketogenic diet. That is essentially dumping pure sugar into my body 30 minutes before my workout. Carbs are like rocket fuel. So I put them 30 minutes before my workout. It's worked out very, very well. If you are trying to lose weight, if that is your primary goal, I would not recommend it at all. But I think the targeted ketogenic diet is a good workaround for the loss in strength. So I think a lot of you are going to agree with me on this last and final thing that I hate about the ketogenic diet, and that is the infamous keto police. So if you're not familiar with the term keto police, it's basically used to describe somebody who just goes out on the internet and tells everybody else that they're doing the diet wrong just because everybody else isn't doing the diet exactly like they're doing. So to be honest with you, the root of that is insecurity. These are just people that have to feel like everybody should be just like them. And at the end of the day, results are all that matter. So if somebody tries to put you down or tell you that you're wrong for the way you do keto, as long as you're getting good results, tell them to go fly a kite. If you aren't getting results, perhaps you should maybe listen to the advice or the criticism that they're giving you. So if you're looking for a safe place that has absolutely no keto police, make sure you join the Keto Quest family on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description below. So Paxman and I are gonna do some painting right now. So keep up the good work, guys, and as always, much love.